welcome. So if you are new here, this is a series of videos that I post detailing my thoughts and processes for creating a competition cosplay. I do also post longer format how-to videos and tutorials and whatnot. This is more of like a behind-the-scenes type of video. So if that's something that you enjoy, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see my progress with my big competition cosplays and tutorials and that sort of thing, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions about anything that I talk about, make sure to drop them down in the comment section below. I am pretty responsive. Also, I do have an Instagram where I post additional shorts and sometimes stories and whatnot. It's Sewn Cosplay over on Instagram, so make sure to check that out. The link is down in the description. So my hope for this week was to finally finish up the underskirt for my grand Julieta Sakizo build. However, I didn't. So this gathered part, as you know, took me quite a long time to figure out and do, from running out of fabric to trying one technique and it not working and another technique and it not working, but I finally got it figured out, and I explained that in my last update, but let me go ahead and show you my progress so far. I got the gathered section onto the dress. I did have to go ahead and add this second layer here. I really just didn't trust this poor quality satin that I have down there. But also my ruffle went a little wild when I got that on, so it's not like super even on top, and I didn't want to redo the hem. So I just went ahead and created a second skirt and adjusted the gathers to fit that. And I left a little bit of gap here where it's not completely sewn on yet, because the white panel that I'm going to put here is going to then sew onto this and then stitch down onto this seam here. But I finally, after 2 weeks of struggle, got this part done. And what I did on the inside was I bag lined it to get this nice hemline. I still need to trim all of my threads here, but that worked out really well. And then I gathered up the velvet separately, and I gathered up the lining separately because it wouldn't gather on my machine pretty much at all to try and do them together as one piece. So I had to do them separately, but I get the added benefit of it giving a little extra volume, the poofs here. So I'm not too sad with that. I do need to adjust the top part up there whenever I'm ready to sew this on, just to make sure that the bottom is even all the way around. But this right here is why I wanted to put this ruffle all the way around. I knew there would be this little gap here that would be relatively noticeable when I moved. So I kind of like the way that that looked, and it gave me this really, really nice combination of textures all the way around. So I am finally done with this part. Yeah, so it's finally done. I cannot be happier to finally be finished with that gathered part. However, I didn't have the right width of fabric left to create this honeycomb smocking down here. So I cannot finish the underskirt, unfortunately, not yet. So I have more fabric coming, but I will not be able to pick this build back up for a few weeks because, as I mentioned in my last video, I will be guesting in a couple of months, and I need to spend some time getting ready for that, including making 2 brand new easy to wear cosplays to wear at the convention. Also, I have another convention that I was invited to guest at that's kind of a big deal, so I'm very excited to do that one as well. Fortunately, the time that I spend now preparing for the first convention, I should be more than prepared for the second one. So I think when I'm finished getting ready for the first one, I can get back to working on this piece. But I'm really excited. It happened like almost back to back. I got invited to one, and then a couple days later, I got invited to this other one. So that's a big deal for me, and I'm very excited. So I will post more details about that later. I have to wait for them to make their announcements and such, and then I will give details on what convention, where, and what I will be doing at the convention. But I am planning some really fun merchandise that I will have at my booth, some stickers, some pins, and I'm thinking of putting together a little fun thing just for people who subscribe to my channel or follow me on Instagram. I think we're gonna have a little code word, and if you come up to my booth with the code word, I think I'm gonna have a little special gift to hand out. So very excited to do that as well. I just have to figure out exactly what it is that I want to do for that. So that's where I'm at right now. I was pretty slow this week. It was a very rough week for me, so I needed to take a little bit of time and stop working on this for a bit. So I literally just got this attached to the second part of the skirt like yesterday. So she's unfortunately on hold. However, for my upcoming conventions, I am making Ravenna's skull dress, and all of the fabric arrived and the pattern I'm going to use. It's not a competition piece, so I'm not going to really try to pattern anything from scratch. So to make this dress, I'm going to be using this pattern here. I'm going to make the plain dress. I think it's C, letter C. I know it's very basic. This pattern, not super great, but I'm gonna make it out of this beautiful, I think it's Dupioni. Absolutely love it. It has some texture to it that sort of matches the movie. And then I'm going to create an overskirt out of some black sheer material that is split in the front that will really be a separate piece that I will wear over this, because this is just going to be the underdress because there's a lot more that goes on top. Same sheer material I'm going to make the sleeve puffs and the long sleeves out of, and then I have a pattern for a 1760s inspired corset that I'm going to make out of some black satin, black matte satin actually, and it has a lot of boating channels, which isn't movie screen accurate, but I don't care. I love to make a good corset like that. It just shows a lot of like detail, and on that black you'll just get that. When you're up close, you'll get to see the detail. It'll be really nice. And then I'm going to make a front panel out of Warbler that will magnetize to the front to create that other piece. And then I found some 3D print files to make the bird skulls and the crown. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to give myself another ambitious timeline because I love to do that to myself. And I think I will get the main part of the dress done here early next week. And I think I'll get the skirt done by next weekend. And then I will spend the following week on the corset. So all in all, I want this cosplay done completely by the end of November. 3D printing, painting, everything by the end of November. So that's what I'm going myself at. That way in December, I can work on a Tea Party Sailor Cosmos dress, which is inspired by this image here. I'm just going to do something very similar to my Barbie dress. Probably the same pattern, but the top is going to be a plain white. And then the skirt itself will be a layer of probably a white satin with this rainbow pastel sheer fabric that I used on Sailor Cosmos's cape. I'm obsessed with pastel rainbow right now. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to create a leather iridescent belt to sort of tie it all together. So I think that's going to be really cute. I'm also going to do like, so it's going to have the shoulder straps, and then I'm going to take that same rainbow sheer fabric, and I think I'm going to add in like little droopies off of the sleeves as well. So I think that'll be super cute. And those will be the two new costumes that I'm going to wear to this convention. The other costume I'm going to wear is my free rim, because I did not get to wear her at DragonCon because I got sick and didn't want to cosplay anymore. So I'm very excited to pull free rim out. Though weirdly, she has like a little black mark that I have to figure out how to get out of the fabric. I don't know what that's about, but those are my cosplays for my upcoming con. And then I think the next one I will wear Ravenna and Cosmos again, and then probably pull out my 1890s Aurora, because that is probably one of my all-time favorite costumes to wear. So my goal is for style and comfort. So I think those will be fine. Super excited to put those together. I am just a smidge sad to put my Sakizo build on hold, especially after seeing the gathering on the mannequin. It just looks so cool. And it gave the effect that I was going for. It took a while, but I did it, and I'm very, very excited about that. Also, I will I do like to make little things to have at my booth for sale, and it just gives me a little more experience. There'll be a few leather goods, again, just more experience working with leather. And I always sell like some Sailor Moon cosplay accessories because it's something that I designed and can make relatively quickly. I try to keep everything very affordable at my table, so even if you don't want to get anything, make sure to just drop by and say hi. I had an amazing time meeting people at MomoCon. I can't wait to meet more people at these upcoming conventions. So that's all I had today. Pretty quick update. I'm probably going to start hitting Ravenna a little hard later this evening. I'm just still feeling a little under the weather mentally, but I will pull through it and get to work on that. So my hope is that I will have a full video for you next week for the base dress of Ravenna and maybe the overskirt, and then the following week, if I'm lucky, I will have the corset video ready to go. So we'll just see how that is and play it by ear. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Again, if you like this, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!